Today's episode of the Botch Pod is brought to you by our new favorite fantasy app called Draft. Here's how it works. It's a season-long best ball format. Your best players get automatically selected and you'll get the best score every week. You can draft a team anytime you want, and the best part is you can play for cold, hard cash. Leagues start from just $3, so there's a league for everyone. Just search Draft in the App Store or go to playdraft.com and come play free with promo code FAKEPIGSKIN. Cold, hard cash. Leagues start from just $3, so there's a league for everyone. For a limited time only, all new players get a free entry into a $3 best ball draft when you make your first deposit, but you have to use our promo code FAKEPIGSKIN. Here we go.
And welcome to the Botch Pod presented by FakePigskin.com. I'm your host, Josh Bennett, and I'm joined tonight by my Botch Pod co-host, Michael Vincent. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight? Game 7 of the World Series.
Oh, great. We're also joined tonight by our good friend, Andrew Frechette from the Dynasty Life Pod. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, man? Just enjoying the Astros, kicking some ass.
Nice. Well, that's a great segue into our first topic. I'm really pumped for this topic. It's a baseball talk, and not because I like baseball, but because that means it's our last bit of baseball talk for a long time. Like you said, the Astros are up in the World Series. What's the score right now?
When you said leads us into the first segment, I figured we were going to get into talking about ass, so I'm not sure. Hold on.
The Astros.
Yeah. It was 5-0, but my timed out of me.
No, it's still the Astros. I think it's still 5-0. I think they just got out of that the fifth inning or sixth inning.
Yeah, it's 5-0, but Astros have first and third, so more to come.
It's crazy. Everyone look out for Slow. Who knows what's going to happen to him if the Astros pull this off. I didn't even know you were an Astros fan, Andrew, until the World Series, but that's pretty cool. You have talked about Jeff Bagwell and Jeff Kent and Craig Biggio in the past, so I guess I can't be too surprised.
Derek Bell, Lance Berkman.
That's right, the Killer Bees. And Carlos Beltran has gone back to the Astros, so people forget he was there in 2005.
I forgot.
You never knew, I don't think.
I didn't know. I never knew. I had no clue. Okay, cool. Well, baseball's almost over, so a few more innings and then no more baseball until opening day. Well, I guess there's is there free agency in baseball?
There is. It's December. There's winter meetings. My Cubs are still the champions until the Astros or the Dodgers win. Little spin zone here. If the Astros win, the Cubs are still the National League World Series champions. So just saying. And if the Astros win, the World Series is staying in the National League Central because the Astros were once there too.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So you can't lose.
Can't.
That's awesome. Okay, well, let's move on to football. The other day we saw a ton of trades in the NFL from the trade deadline. Easily the most exciting trade deadline of all time. It was crazy. Every couple hours there was a big move. We had Kelvin Benjamin going to the Bills, Jay Ajayi moving from Miami to the Eagles, Jimmy Garoppolo, which was probably the most interesting one to me, leaving New England and headed to San Francisco. And then you had Dwayne Brown leaving the Texans and going to solidify the offensive line, or at least help Russell Wilson up in Seattle. Andrew, of those 4 trades I just mentioned, what was the one that stood out the most to you?
So probably, especially being a Patriots fan, probably the Garoppolo one as well. But it seems that they kind of just, had to make a move there. I'm not sure if they wanted to really franchise a backup quarterback, considering, Brady hasn't looked like he's slowing down. Outside of that, it's great for Philly to get Ajayi. I just devalue the running back position quite a bit. So yeah, it's fine. But the thing is, with that trade, they gave up a fourth. I think it was just a fourth. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong there. So that was a great trade for Philly, especially because Blunt really hasn't been anything special. And then for Seattle, getting Dwayne Brown seemed huge because their offensive line has been pretty terrible. So it'll be interesting to see how it affects that team, especially because Russell's kind of been on pace for a career high in pass attempts this year. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Seattle's a team I feel like that turns it up in the second half of the year every year. So they're coming. They're looking good, at least on offense.
Yeah, and their running game, there has been no running game. It's non-existent. Getting Dwayne Brown probably helps them out a little bit, but at most, or at least, it's going to help Russell Wilson's blind side. And if the defense isn't as strong as it's been in the past, you've seen them give up some bigger plays, some big games lately, forcing the offense to actually play offense. Dwayne Brown is going to be there as his personal bodyguard.
Absolutely. One guy you didn't mention in your all's talk was Kelvin Benjamin. Does the move from Carolina to Buffalo, in your opinion, Mike, does that help him as a player and a fantasy asset? Does it hurt him? Is it about the same? What do you think?
I think it's a fantasy asset. I mean, Tyrod Taylor, people assume that he's a mobile quarterback, that he's just going to be running around. While they're right, he's also got a very – I don't want to sound – this sounds pretty basic, but he's got a pretty good deep ball. He's got a good accuracy. I think Kelvin Benjamin is going to help him as much as he was going to help Cam Newton. The problem was that he wasn't getting open in Carolina, whether it was Cam Newton just tossing it up and hoping for the best. I feel like Tyrod Taylor is a more refined passer. I know I'm going to get shit on for that, but I think that Tyrod Taylor is probably a better fit for KB than Newton was. On the other end, I feel that it's going to let guys in Carolina like Devin Funchess open up and be the guy that people thought he was going to be. And Greg Olson's coming back. Christian McCaffrey is developed as a pretty important part of that passing game. So I think it helps all parties. I don't think he ever was going to become the guy they thought he was after that rookie year. Obviously, tore his ACL in his second year. But the last 2 years, it's all been about fat Kelvin Benjamin jokes and slow Kelvin Benjamin. And I just don't think he was ever going to be the guy that they thought he was going to be in Carolina. So I think it helps. I think it helps everybody.
So right. I think it's kind of a neutral move. I agree with you, Mike, on Tyrod that he's actually a really good deep ball passer. I just don't think Kelvin's really going to help them out unless he's able to kind of just like use his height to his advantage. Just because the thing that a lot of people liked with Sammy is he was fast and he could get behind the defense, and I just can't really. And that's why Tyrod was able. That's why he seemed like a valuable asset there. Is he could get behind the defense. Tyrod did have a deep ball with Kelvin. I just can't really see him, burning by a bunch of guys. He's not really a great route runner. He's never been a player that seemed to utilize his height to his advantage. But I mean, things can change. But I don't know. It's not an offense I really would want to dive into. Just they love running the ball. They love the dump offs to McCoy. He's gonna still get his like 5-6 catches a game. So it's interesting. I think they just want to sit there, run the ball, and use their defense to win games. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens. I think it's neutral because I do agree. I never liked Cam really as a passer. A lot of people loved him in fantasy, and a lot of that came from the fact that he can use his legs. So I'm interested to see what happens. I don't think he'll play tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's something you got to think about. He's going to lose a game for people. He already played I don't know if Carolina had their bye week or not, but he's going to lose a game again for Buffalo by having the short week. So that does hurt him.
Well, yeah, Buffalo had their bye already, and Carolina hadn't. So I think it's kind of a wash.
Oh, that works out, yeah. So he doesn't get 14 games in the regular season.
Yeah, I think he would have been up to 17 if he plays tomorrow.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with what both of you said. And also, we got to think about Charles Clay was the main option in this passing game before he went down with injury. I think he still leads the team in yards, and he's been out for 2 weeks. So I think Kelvin Benjamin, even though he plays receiver, can step in and kind of play that red zone threat. But like you said, they're going to run the ball. McCoy is the main piece of that offense. But, I mean, it can't hurt to have a 6'6" lumbering receiver to throw to in the red zone. So I like the move. I kind of think it's neutral, but it is nice for a change of scenery. And who knows, maybe the Bills' offense won't be as predictable as the Carolina Panthers' offense, and they can kind of move him around a little bit to get some stuff going. So I kind of like it for Kelvin Benjamin, to be honest. All right, moving on. Brian Hoyer comes home. Is he the future of the Patriots, Mike?
It would be one hell of a story. The prodigal son returns. to New England to take his throne from Tom Brady. No, he's not. He's going to be the backup, just like Ryan Mallett was, just like Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett. They're just placeholders. Eventually, New England's going to have to draft a quarterback, but we've said that for 5 years now. And if Brady is thinking he's going to play till he's 45, then what's the rush?
Right. Brady will play until he's 45. I think he will. I think that the Jimmy G trade showed you that, like Andrew said, they can't franchise a backup quarterback. But also I think that they don't think, even if they franchised him, that he would be around for that next year. They can't keep franchising him because Brady's not slowing down. Brian Hoyer's a backup. I thought it was interesting that they could have gotten him in the trade, but they chose not to get him in the Jimmy Garoppolo trade so they could get supplemental picks, and then they just signed him. So that was awesome, I thought.
So, Josh, the supplemental thing was for both sides too.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
So San Francisco would have lost supplemental, but it worked out for both. So it was probably one of those things where Belichick was like, hey, so this is going to help us both, because I guarantee San Francisco didn't know shit. Because
right,
look at that offense.
Right, for sure. Cool. All right. Well, probably one of the most talked about stories of the offseason and regular season has been Ezekiel Elliott. He's suspended, and then he appeals it and gets off, and then he's suspended, then appeals it and gets off. I don't even know where we're at right now. Last I heard, he was suspended, and he filed a juncture, whatever, some legal term. Did he get off again, Andrew, or is he still suspended for 6 games?
I think so. They appealed the suspension that kind of got him back suspended, and then they denied that, and then now they're going to, I think it's Second Circuit. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I kind of just like what I see from Twitter is what I get, but I didn't see anything come across today as far as what's come of that, but I know they're trying to expedite it. So for now, I mean, we all don't know. It's just it will kind of, once it comes down, and like if he loses this one, to get the peel back on, pretty sure that's it. I don't think they can kind of go any higher. I think the reason that he keeps getting, that nothing's been established, that he keeps winning the appeals, and once he wins the appeals, they rule against him, and then he wins another appeal. So I think all they need to do is just kind of not appeal, and he'll be done for 6 games. But as the Cowboys, they should just be like, hey man, like let's just get this over with.
At what point is he just hurting the team by just for example, look at Brady last year. He appealed it through a whole year. He made it, and then at one point he's like, you know what? I'm probably going to lose. Let's get Garoppolo and Brissett ready. And he took a step back. Is this like pride? Is this like, I really don't think I did anything wrong, or he just hurt me? What are you going to do? I mean, eventually they're going to say no, and someone else is going to have to play.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that there is pride involved, but also I do believe that the case against him and his legal team feels like there's not enough evidence to warrant a suspension for six games. So I think it's a little bit of both. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that like he's come out and said like, and think about it, like he doesn't want to be accused of something like this and then have to play, be suspended for something that if he really didn't do it, like just as a person, he probably doesn't want that on his name. If God forbid, like anything did like happen, and I guess we'll just never know, because at this point, there's no legal process as far as that. This is just more NFL style. But I'm assuming for him, he just doesn't want to be known as that. I mean, that's such a big hot button issue, and not that it shouldn't be, but one shitty thing is that every time he does appeal, every time it's talked about, it's just people keep bringing it up. So it's like people are going to still think about the fact that it was domestic violence. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just at this point, like I get it. You don't want your name attached to anything like that. So it will all play out. It would be nice, as fantasy owners, obviously you don't want to lose him, but you can't really think about that. There's moral things involved too.
Absolutely. But speaking of fantasy, we are heavily fantasy-oriented podcast.
Giant fantasy.
Right. Ezekiel Elliott, if he's on your fantasy team, he is out. If the 6-game suspension is upheld and it starts week 9, he's out until the second week of the playoffs. That's a blow, because you got to, even if you don't get a first-round bye, you got to win that first week without probably your first-round pick or a guy you invested heavily in. Until then, who are you investing in that backfield? You got Alfred Morris, Darren McFadden, and Rod Smith. I'll go to you first, Mike. Who you liking?
I think Alfred Smith. Alfred Morris is most likely the back to own, just because he's looked good when he's gotten the ball for Dallas this year. He looked good for Washington in the past. I think he's the guy that you want to have back there. He's that ground and pound kind of guy. He doesn't have the injuries that Darren McFadden's had, so I think it's obviously like 3-4 years younger.
Right. What about you, Andrew? Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm also with in the Morris camp, especially comments from Jerry Jones. Then there's been a couple things that have leaked on Twitter, like with reports from the offensive coordinator and how they pretty much are grooming Morris to be the guy. God forbid there was a suspension. Did you say he would only miss the first week of how many weeks of the fantasy playoffs?
It'd be week 14. He'd miss week 14, so he'd be back for the 15. So that'd be like semifinals.
Round two of the playoffs. He misses the first week of the fantasy playoffs.
What week are we in?
9.
We're about to start week 9.
So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Got it. So
and he missed his bye, and he already got a bye week. So you would have gotten 7 weeks out of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sneaky one people are saying is Rod Smith. I mean, whatever. He's just because if people want to be contrarian, it's probably the one you can get for free still. I'm sure people loaded up on Morris and McFadden on their waiver wire, but Smith's probably been sitting there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't really know. I mean, at this point, like you can't really, like, especially if you're not in a deeper league, you can't really just like blow your bench on holding 3 of those guys just because it could be a week-to-week thing. I mean, first week they could split carries, and then you're forced to hold on to all 3 of them again, and it could just kind of kill you. You're kind of in like a prime, like especially week 9. There's so many good fantasy players that are on bye right now that like it's tough to kind of like hold all 3 of those guys.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
Right. Agreed.
And
cool.
I was going to say it's like the Arizona situation when DJ went down. Everyone was blowing their money on Kerwin Williams and Chris Johnson, and it ended up being Adrian Peterson. So it's like you don't know. Just like with JJ now. I mean, people split it on Kenny and Drake and Damian Williams, but time will tell.
Time will tell. Well, speaking of bye weeks, this is the worst week of bye weeks in the history of all bye weeks ever. It's awful. My home league, I'm decimated. Mike, go ahead and take us these bye weeks.
All right. Well, Chicago, my Bears, after losing in New Orleans, they're on bye, so you don't have Jordan Howard. You don't have Tariq Cohen. If you had Zach Miller, you'll never have him again. But a sneaky play lately has been the Bears defense, who have 8 turnovers. Who has 8 turnovers? Whatever it is. They had 8 turnovers in the last 3 games. Minnesota is on bye. They went to London with Cleveland. So Minnesota's on bye. They got Adam Thielen's on bye. Diggs, McKinnon, Rudolph. Again, the Vikings D is pretty good. Cleveland's got Crowell on bye. Duke Johnson. That's really the only startable people. Maybe the rookie tight end Njoku. Pittsburgh, that's the biggest one. Everyone was just like fell in love with Juju Smith-Schuster last week, and now he's going to go on bye, and he probably never sees the field again because that's just how things are. Antonio Brown, obviously, Le'Veon Bell, Big Ben, those guys all sitting out. Chargers with Rivers, Keenan Allen, those are Andrew's top guys. Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler in your deep leagues. Obviously Hunter Henry and Antonio Gates. And then New England, that's everybody. Everyone's rosterable, so they're all on bye.
Yeah, well, that's terrible.
That's a lot of fantasy points.
That is a lot of fantasy points. But if you were looking ahead earlier in the season in redraft and you drafted a team primarily made up of all these teams, you're going to suck week 9, but hopefully bye weeks weren't as hard on you.
You're right. You're full force 14 out of 15 weeks or whatever it is. I mean, I take that. I bet you could build a full team on just week 9 alone.
Oh, easily. I tried to do it in one of my leagues, but I kept getting sniped. So I split between week 8 and 9.
Okay.
Because they're both terrible. Okay, cool. Let's get into segments with our favorite or most popular segment.
Bad.
Revenge games. I'm trying to do it. I can't. Okay. Mike, you wrote this one down. Chris Gregg. Who the hell is Chris Gregg? Please explain.
These are terrible revenge games. I just want to say that. These are awful. This is the worst week of revenge games. I have offensive linemen on here. Chris Gregg is the tight end H-back for the Jets. He was on the Bills last couple of years. He used to wear 48. I hate tight ends who wear the numbers in the 40s. I remember that. And now he's an interdivisional rival, and they're playing on Thursday night. Just stay away from Chris Gregg.
No, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'll be sure to stay away from him.
Good, in case she does tight end premium leagues.
Right. Okay, the next one. We have Terrence West, Baltimore running back, versus his old team, the Tennessee Titans. To be honest with you, I don't remember Terrence West playing for the Titans.
He did 2015. I don't think he's playing this week though.
Okay. I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it. Andrew, do you have a revenge game you want to talk about?
No, I'm like laughing a little bit. When the hell did Terrence West play?
Exactly.
I thought that was Cleveland.
So that was the year that they had. No, he was on Tennessee too. They had David Cobb was on that team. It was a bad year for tight end running backs.
That was the same guy.
Yes, because they had Antonio Andrews as well. Like there was just like a bad year. Yeah,
that's
I'm
on his Wikipedia right now, and yeah, he did. He was on the Titans. I don't remember that. Well done, sir. Well done.
I feel like you missed one here. Didn't Janoris Jenkins play for the Rams?
Yes. He did.
But he's
suspended.
Yeah.
He's an IDP. That's for the IDP guys out there. So I didn't put that on there. But you're right. You're 100% right.
Well, didn't you say you had an offensive line one on there?
I do. I did say that. You know what?
I figured anything was in play.
Look at the Arizona San Francisco one. The backup quarterback, Blaine Gabbert, who might get play if Drew Stanton sucks, Phil Dawson, and Andy Lee, the punter and the kicker, both former San Francisco 49ers. So for you guys who have special teams points, why not? So
does Galvin Escobar play for the Chiefs?
Yeah. Oh, does he? Because
I don't know. I thought he did. Maybe he doesn't. After you saying the offensive line one, I pulled up the schedule and was trying to find something.
It's bad, dude. It's bad.
It's a bad week.
And there's already a repeat because the Arizona and San Francisco already played each other this year.
So we're having to go back into the old jokes.
I know.
That's bad. And then we have Jared Abbrederis, Detroit versus Green Bay, his old team.
Yeah.
And TJ Lang and Don Barclay are offensive linemen.
Yep.
The crazy thing is there's probably so many that we don't even know about that Mike might have missed.
Yeah.
Like buried in here somewhere.
Oh, no doubt.
Like so many players you don't even realize played for some teams.
Agreed.
Okay, well, let's get to another segment. Shootouts. What's a big shootout for you this week, Mike?
The whole NFC South, bad defense all around. Bucs Saints, that's our go-to shootout. If you remember last year, that was our big one. I think it ended like 11-8 or something. So,
there was 2 safeties.
Yeah,
that was a bad one. Tampa, New Orleans. I mean, you got the fireworks in that game. You'd think. I don't know if Winston's playing, but you almost want Fitzpatrick to play because you know it's going to be a shit show if he plays. You got Breeze, Mike Thomas, Ted Ginn, Ingram, Kamara, Kobe, Fleener, Josh Hill, if he might get in on that. And obviously Tampa Bay's got all those skill position guys, Mike Evans and DJ, Deshaun Jackson, and the rest of the gang. So, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing like it's going to be like 45-41 Tampa upset. And in the Superdome.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Andrew, do you have any potential shootouts this week?
Yeah, I think Dallas and Kansas City could shoot out. No Zeke, so I feel like they might not try to pound the rock as much. Plus, I mean, Dallas's defense is terrible, so Kansas City can go out. I mean, they could pass all over them, and then Cowboys could have to keep up. Outside of that, I mean, Lions, Packers, just without Aaron Rodgers sucks. Raiders, I don't know, man. Raiders, Dolphins, maybe.
Sunday Night Football.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Yeah, the Raiders.
Both those defenses suck.
Yeah, there's been some weird games this year on Sunday Night Football.
I feel like the Chiefs have been on prime time every single week. Every week.
Yeah, I agreed.
That's so weird.
Kareem Hunt effect.
Yeah.
The Kareem Hunt, yeah.
When Tyreek, A. Hunt, and K. Hunt, exactly.
Ooh.
Oh, the Dodgers scored, guys. It is 5-1.
Oh, wow.
Ethier, single to center. Jock Peterson scored. So,
Okay. What inning is it?
It is the 7th. Top 7, 5-1 Houston.
What quarter is it?
Mm.
That was a joke.
It's the third. It's the third. So if it was 48, it's
Yeah, math.
no.
Sorry. Okay, let's move on to
second. It's 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So it's just halftime's over.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Streams of the week. We got tight ends versus the Giants. Apparently, the Giants just give up so many points to tight ends. So Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett of the Rams. Stream those guys. They should be available on your waiver wires.
Yes.
So okay, and let's get to
what about Rams wide receivers? No Janoris Jenkins.
No Jack. So is it going to be a Watkins game or a Cooper Kupp game or Bob Woods?
Bob Woods is going to get you 10 points no matter what.
Yep. 5 for 50.
And then his ceiling is 12, so you know he's good.
For your deep sleepers league guys.
I feel like Kupp is kind of a player that I really only use when like Sammy's going to get shut down, but I don't know. I mean, I really actually hate everyone there. I hate Sammy.
What is Watkins' problem? Well, we're going to talk about that in the next segment, actually, right now. Okay.
Let's move to our next segment. My favorite, Dead or Back. As I look at the show sheet, the word Watkins just appeared on here. So, Mike, is Watkins
Andrew.
dead?
I think it's Andrew's.
Oh, Andrew. Sorry, Andrew.
I didn't type this, but
no, I did. But for you,
is Watkins dead or back?
He's still dead.
Dead.
He might appear this week and then die again. Isn't that some like religious thing? I don't know. Like with Jesus, doesn't he die and then come back and stuff?
Cups would buy him, dead or alive. So I saw Watkins for a Tyreek Hill trade between Cups and one of your
Justin.
Yes, your Dynasty Life guys.
What are your thoughts there? What do you think?
I forgot who got who, but I think Hill's the guy right now. I think Watkins is slowly fading away.
Cups would never trade Watkins, so you know who got who.
You're right. So
I would take Tyreek
smart trade for Justin. Smart trade for Justin.
Okay. Andrew, the Saints passing game, dead or back?
Are they at home?
Yes.
Back.
It's back.
All right.
For sure.
And even,
how about Alvin Kamara? How about my boy?
He's killing it.
What college did he go to?
I don't remember. Oh, I remember now. The University of I forget the state. But yeah, he's good. He's good.
Coached by Botch Jones.
I honestly just
Botch
like
Jones.
his nose ring.
Oh, he's awesome, man.
He's got
these. He sells these shirts, these local shirts that say "Local Trap Star" on them. I want to get one.
You know what's crazy?
He's awesome.
Crazy about him is that Ingram's been doing so well, and then he goes and fumbles twice last week. And
right.
Why screw up you're already getting outplayed by a rookie. Now you're going to go fumble. Now he's got every opportunity to do well too, Ingram, and now he screws that up. 3 fumbles in the last 2 games, I believe. So,
okay.
Real quick on Mark Ingram, have you ever watched a Saints game and every time he gets a first down or any type of run that really is just all right, it's a first down, he goes fucking crazy, like he scored a 100-yard touchdown?
I think he's a big chip on his shoulder. I think.
Yeah, he just goes ballistic. I feel like every time he gets a first down or he gets a 7-yard rush, he goes ham.
It's because he's the last Alabama running back standing.
Derrick Henry.
Well, he's not. He hasn't really stood up yet. But talking about between him, Lacey, and Trent Richardson,
T.J. Yeldon.
Yeldon might. Who knows?
He was back last week.
He was. Him and Ivory.
They were both back, and then they were on bye. They're back then bye.
Bye weeks, it's like a big. It's a tease when you get those buys. Like everything's going well, and then it's momentum just knocked.
Okay.
You could be teased by buys in another way too.
Wow. Could be buy a lot of things.
Ooh. Okay. Let's move on before we get the explicit rating on iTunes. Seahawks running game with offensive tackle Dwayne Brown. Mike, is the Seahawks running game dead or back?
I think Russell Wilson wants to throw the ball. I think that he's been unleashed. I think they realize that they have zero consistency from Rawls and Lacey, McKissick. Chris Carson gets hurt. CJ Procise, who I bought so much of this offseason and just is nothing. I think they're just going to pass on necessity. Eventually, when you can't run the ball, you're off. Just because they got a left tackle doesn't mean the rest of the line is good. Jimmy Graham's not an inline blocker. He'll never be one. I think that it's not dead, but it's not back. It's just going to be those. I think at one point, Lacey and and Rawls ran for a total of -1 yards, 12 carries for -1 yard or some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, that was last week. So can't you argue that really you have nowhere to go but be back?
True.
That's true.
By getting
dead.
by getting 0 yards,
Yes, they are back if they get no yards.
Wow. That's
the transitive property.
Breaking Seahawks run game now back.
Ooh,
that's mind blowing.
that's I need to take a minute for this. Okay. Andrew, this one's for you. Good Amari Cooper. Is he dead or is he back?
Is bad Amari back?
Who are they playing?
Raiders, Dolphins, Sunday Night Football.
Oh, he's back.
Oh.
Ugh.
So people are going to have to be on that Cooper train again?
Just this week. I don't know who they play next week.
I think they're on bye soon. I don't know. Cooper's just – I mean, is he the guy you're just going to expect him to get that great game followed by the bad game? I mean, is that just the value going to be there? I mean, he's never going to be that possession receiver, I think, that people thought he was going to be based on his size.
I think give him time still. It just sucks if you invested in him because you invested a lot and you're just sitting around waiting on him.
Well, he's still only 22, 23.
Yeah, he's super young. I mean, he's the kind of guy, if you're in last place in your league or in the bottom of the totem pole, you want to trade for him because you can buy him low. And he'll be a guy that you build around for the future. But yeah, if you're a contender and you got Amari Cooper sitting on your bench, you need to flip him for something because
the perfect time would have been prior to that huge game, but he obviously fell back to earth last week.
Right.
I totally agree though. He's a guy you're I mean, if you're not making the playoffs and you're not even close, then you have AJ Green, trade AJ Green for him or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, give him to a contender. I agree. I think I know one guy who really likes Cooper, but he's not here right now. So
no, I don't think he likes him anymore.
Oh, true.
No, he tweeted, he added NFL to his handle on Twitter and then tweeted that he couldn't back up. He couldn't support Amari Cooper anymore. So
that's a good one actually. Are guys who have NFL in their Twitter, are they dead or back?
They're just kind of there.
Okay.
It makes me take them not less serious.
That's important. The NFL part very important in Twitter accounts.
It is. Even if you don't work for the NFL, if you just put NFL in your name, you're there.
You're there.
You're back.
Josh NFL. Yeah.
Josh NFL. I don't have NFL in my name.
No, I know, but you could.
I could.
I would take your takes more seriously then.
You would. Would you? You would be back.
Oh, I'd be back if I had.
But then you would just be dead again.
Yeah.
Right. It'd be dead and back. Yeah.
It's transitive properties.
There it is. Okay, this one is for you, Mike. Sterling Shepard. I assume he's back based on your question, but is he back? And is he the guy after injuries? All the injuries?
Sure. Let me tell you a story. In 2014,
God.
Victor Cruz was the guy. He was the big, bad, tough receiver. He destroyed his patella on Sunday Night Football, and then a little guy named Odell Beckham Jr. became the guy there.
Who?
So OBJ, the greatest receiver in the NFL. And so injuries, equal opportunity sometimes. And so if this is Shepard's opportunity to show all the time, yeah. This is his opportunity to see what he can do by being the guy. He just has to stay healthy himself. And he's just coming back from an ankle injury. No Brandon Marshall. No one stepped up last week. They lost to Seattle and then went on a bye, and that might have been the best thing for him to get healthy. If it's
Mike, you are just all over the place, buddy.
Why?
Because they were on a bye last week. Houston played Seattle.
No. I'm saying the Giants played Seattle.
Oh, and then went on a bye.
Then they went on a bye.
Oh, okay.
And now he's coming back. No, Seattle. Yeah, the game in
New Orleans.
No, in New York. So I think Shepard comes back, and
so you don't think Evan Ingram stepped up to be the guy?
He's still a tight end. You still need a receiver to be,
But he pretty much is a receiver.
He's got a receiver body, receiver skill set. That's true.
He's kind of had 2 great weeks in a row.
Yeah, and no Shepard in both games.
Okay.
Roger Lewis, though.
Big Roger. And Tavares King.
Travis Rudolph.
The rookie. Yeah,
from Florida State.
I think Shepard's
back with an autistic kid, so good person.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
And no, I think Shepard's back. I think Marshall out, Beckham out, Dwayne Harris out. he's your guy. You know, they have no running game, zero running game. Why not Shepard?
Why not? Okay, next one. This one's for you, Andrew, and I saved it specifically for you. Josh Gordon, dead or back?
Back to being the wide receiver one in the NFL.
Wow.
Ooh,
Fire
wow.
take.
Wow, that was a fire take. Do you really think that he's going to be a wide receiver one, realistically?
Yes.
Interesting. What about you, Mike?
He's got to get on the field. I mean, just like anybody else. It's injured all the time, and we talk about potential. Suspended all the time, and we talk about potential. Potential only gets you so far. Let's see him play and see what he does.
I will say this. I think that this is it. If he gets suspended again, he's done. And I bet that was something that Goodell said to him. He's like, you know what, this is literally like the last chance you're gonna get. And I feel like, you know, after that whole thing came out, I feel like he'll be fine. But it's obviously, you know, as an owner, it's just like we always talk about like, oh well, there's the suspension worry, and I like with Bell or Martavis or any of those other guys, but with him, this is kind of it. If for whatever reason, like you start to see smoke, like, you know, before we saw Bell, he missed the test and then he wasn't suspended for like 2 months. If anything like that comes out, I'm gonna sell the shit out of him because he's not coming back after another one.
Right. Who would you rather have on your dynasty team, Josh Gordon or Martavis Bryant?
Oh, Gordon, 100 million times out of a million. He's actually done something in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah. People are still riding Martavis's small sample size, but no, I'd have to say Gordon too. If you have to pick one, I feel like Martavis Bryant's out of favor in Pittsburgh, and Juju doing well last week and sort of stepping up is doing him no favors.
Yeah, and the thing with Martavis is it's like, dude, you screwed up. You're out for a year, like, and you didn't play, and then now you're out here like causing a scene in this locker room. It's just that's showing everyone that like you didn't learn. Like you should have to prove that you're just not an idiot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, last one. This is for everybody. Papa John's Pizza. They accuse the NFL of the players kneeling for losing money because they're not selling enough pizza, and they blamed it on Colin Kaepernick. Are they dead or back?
They were dead when they opened up as a company.
Yeah, maybe make better pizza and then talk about
maybe
why
don't
they're
have
not buying.
Peyton Manning slap his balls over someone's face.
Right. What college did he go to?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, that T state again.
T State, yeah, something like that.
Like tea bag.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, Papa John's dead. Okay, moving on to our next segment. Rest of season. I like this one. This is a new one. Well done, Mike.
Thanks.
Buy or sell with injuries. Okay, T.Y. Hilton for the rest of season. I guess we're assuming this is Dynasty. Would you sell T.Y.? Here, you just do this segment, Mike. I don't know what you want.
The thing with this, and I like the segment, is you have to give what the sell is. Mm-hmm. Because I could say I buy, and then it'd be like, okay, then you get into the conversation of, well, what for? Right. So
T.Y. Hilton or Emmanuel Sanders?
T.Y.
In Dynasty, T.Y. Easy.
Even rest of the season for me.
Both, I think T.Y.'s ceiling is that quarterback situation in Denver is no any better. Carson Palmer's out for the year, most likely. No real semblance of a running game to take the pressure off the quarterback. Are you buying or selling Larry Fitzgerald if you have the opportunity to buy a comparable player in the same situation?
Sell. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I would have sold 3 years. I mean, I did sell 3 years ago. He was still producing. He did still produce, but the way I build my fantasy teams, I sold Larry Fitzgerald 3 years ago.
Yeah, and he's been a sell ever since Palmer went down too, and you're lucky to get anything for him. I mean, what are you realistically going to get for him? Because he's likely everyone assumes he's retiring. So
yeah. Okay.
That's a good one though. Like if you did own him, what would you sell him for?
I mean, at this point, if I could get a third out of him.
Oh, good luck. I don't think anyone would do it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll buy it. No way. Here's the thing. If you have Fitz on your team, you're probably still relying on him to be your 4th, 5th, 6th receiver. So you can't really expect too much from him. But also, you expect the ceiling's there. I'd rather have a guy with a high ceiling than
I don't know if that is true with Stanton, man. He's bad.
Stanton is bad. I think Gabbert's a better quarterback than Stanton.
I'd be happier if which sounds weird to say, but yeah, I'd be happier with Gabbert. Dude, I'd probably not even give. I'd give a fourth. Fourth is like if I was buying, I'd give a fourth. Third, I'd kind of be like, give me a fourth back with it or something.
So would you
go ahead?
So would you want to have Larry Fitzgerald the rest of the season, or in the draft end up getting a guy like who was the dude that Ishmael Zamora? Would you take a shot on the Ishmael Zamora type, or have Larry Fitzgerald for the next 5 weeks?
Larry Fitz, but are we talking third or fourth? Because Zamora was like a fourth or fifth, wasn't he?
That's what I mean. He was a fourth rounder.
Yeah.
Because you said fourth rounder.
Oh yeah, I would. That's what I'm saying. I'd give up a fourth for him.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'd give up a fourth. I'd want a third.
All
Okay.
right. What if it's a just take a player for him? Like, would you do Alan Hearns for Larry Fitz?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I want Fitz there.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's just you just got to think about the ceilings. Marquise Lee is stepping up, and Alan Hearns is all over the place. So yeah, I'd still keep
Also,
Fitz.
like Hearns, I like A-Rod back because we said this was dynasty. A-Rod back next year is still Marquise Lee, Westbrook coming. They're running the ball a shit ton with Fournette. I think just Fitz has just a better outlook week to week.
Right.
Just because
I agree with that. But
like Fitz isn't going to go deep, right? Like he's going to kind of stay close to the line of scrimmage.
And I agree there, and I think that's why he's good for a backup quarterback because he's like a safety blanket.
Yeah, because they don't really have a tight end.
No, they don't have a tight end. Although Ricky Seals-Jones, I think he's still on the practice squad. I think he got
no. Didn't he just get cut by the Packers? Am I thinking about the wrong player?
I think that's Ricky Jean Francois, like the defensive tackle.
All these Ricky guys.
I know a lot of
Ricky Jeans.
Yeah, I know. And speaking of the Packers, and this will round out our little news segment that probably isn't relevant every week. No Aaron Rodgers, probably same situation the rest of the year. What are you doing with Green Bay receivers? I mean, what can you really do?
Buying Adams, selling Jordy, hold or maybe sell Cobb. But not sure. His value's rock bottom right now.
Right.
And the thing is, right now, Adams' value's low just because recency bias.
Yeah.
Right.
Cobb, I mean, look at Cobb's last few games, too. Even with Rodgers, he was not getting the looks that he was getting in the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Adams has stepped up.
I agree.
Should have sold Cobb after week 1.
I would say that I'd say the same thing as Andrew, and I'd also throw in there stash Allison Geronimo
Allison.
That's what I meant.
Unless you want to stash Allison Geronimo, I don't know who that is. I'm sure she exists.
Yeah, she's out there somewhere. But yeah, I sold Jordy, much like Fitz. I sold Jordy about 2 years ago.
Oh.
And
we have such different strategies. I would like right now. If you had Fitz and Jordy, you won your league last year.
You're right, but also
I don't agree
if you traded Jordy and Fitz for first round picks, and you ended up getting guys like Carson Wentz and Superflex, or I don't know, Kareem Hunt this past year, then you're winning your leagues now.
Fair point.
And you have younger guys that you can rely on for longer periods of time. So
can we not spell out his name? I just don't even like it. Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
We either just go with like K Hunt and then just drop it to Cunt or something.
Hunt.
Sure.
Okay.
Hunt.
I like it.
I like it too. Cool. Well, anything else you guys want to add? Any final thoughts before we go to bed?
I feel like this is kind of short, which I'm not sure how I feel about. I'm used to going long. I have so much to say sometimes.
We've actually learned how to cut it down to a more reasonable time. We were going on pretty late for a couple weeks, and we've been trying to be more efficient with our time because nobody really cares as is, let alone make it longer. Being on iTunes now, we have to be a little bit more,
What are we running at right now?
We are at, I don't know.
We're at about an hour.
Yeah. We started around 9:30.
Don't you have someone cut things out?
Nope.
No, we go live.
Cool.
We go live, my friend.
All of it live.
Then an hour is actually pretty long.
Yeah. The only thing we cut out is we cut corners.
We cut corners to get to the point that we don't know that we're making.
Right. Absolutely.
By the way, it is the 7th inning. Oh, end of the 7th. It is still 5-1.
Dallas Kuchel is I don't know his name, dude.
Kuchel.
He's warming up in the bullpen though. So.
Uh-oh.
Do you think Zach will ever come on the podcast again?
No, he's not. Okay, question. Is Zach dead or back?
Honestly, Zach has
Taco Bell probably.
Zach is at Taco Bell. Zach, if you're listening,
They have dollar tacos today.
They do because they have free tacos because it's
it's free. That's he's probably been there since it started. I think it was 3 p.m.
Yeah, so he's dead.
But Zach, come home. Your family misses you.
Come home, Zach.
Because we're going to have guests every week, and eventually Andrew's going to be the third guy, and he's going to be the third guy on 2 different podcasts.
Can you picture Zach's kids, like when Zach walks in, being like, "Daddy, I missed you." They're probably like, "Oh fuck, Dad's home."
Oh.
Well, on that note,
he's not here to defend himself.
He's not. That's the best time to make fun of people when they're not able to defend themselves.
We're kind of talking behind his back right now.
Yeah,
at the same time, it's going to be on the internet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point, Zach. This is a test. If you listen to this, then you pass and you're on the next pod. If you didn't listen to this, fuck you.
But you'll never hear because you don't even listen to it.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Well, that does it for this edition of the Botch Pod. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Josh Bennett. You can follow me on Twitter at DynastyJosh. You can follow Michael Vincent on Twitter at MVTweetsHere. And you can follow our friend Andrew Frechette at Andy Fresh with 2 H's. You can also follow his podcast. Is it at Dynasty Life Pod? Is that right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. You can follow them and listen to them. They got some good stuff. Him and Justin and Travis from the Fantasy Authority.
Ooh, I'm first there.
Yeah, you are first. You're first in my heart always. Okay.
Thank you.
Follow our podcast on Twitter at Botch Pod. We're always down to answer questions, so shoot them our way. We've literally never received a single question before, so please send us a question. We've literally never gotten one, so send us a damn question so we can answer it.
We've gotten some of the revenge game questions and additions thanks to Slow. Slow does help with that.
Yeah,
honestly, that's the best segment. So I hope there's some people out there who dig deep and do send you guys some, because I'm not gonna forget the offensive lineman one that Mike. I've been laughing about this entire time of just how much Mike was like, "Oh shit, there's a revenge game."
Pancakes. You never know. You never know when a pancake's gonna happen.
Cool. Well, be sure to check out our work on fakepigskin.com and please sign up for mock drafts. We need mockers, especially in the off season. Please sign up. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Goodbye.
Late December back in '63. What a very special time.